and 7 folks are running for the 3 open seats for the town council on Fort Myers Beach. And every Saturday at 9:30, we're going to have a candidate on. Almost all the candidates have agreed to come on. And Dave Drumm is the first candidate to come back for his second visit. The first time we were stuck inside because it was raining outside. But Dave, thanks for coming back on. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, beautiful day today. You know, like you said, last time we even had a little rainstorm while we were posting. I thought, wow, it's going to be a little tough for the 7 million viewers to see, you know.
7 million.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you saying that, but all 9 people that are watching, they're possible voters. So first question, of course, is who is Dave Drumm? Tell everybody that might be watching or listening who Dave Drumm is.
Dave Drumm's a plumber. I run a business right here on the beach. I live right here on the beach. Do business and speak to so many people every day. I really have a good feeling on the pulse of the beach for what's going on, business-wise and individual-wise. All my kids are grown. I'm not running kids to school anymore. I've got 8 children running around, causing trouble for people.
8 kids.
8 kids. So proud of them all. There's not much else to know about me except for.
Well, how long have you been on the beach?
I've been here. We're going into our 5th year now. We lived just off the beach before, but I mean, living in the middle of the beach here, 5 years.
So why did you decide you wanted to run for council?
No, it kind of came to me backwards. It was brought to me by a bunch of my pals that live near me. They came to me and said, hey, somebody's got to do it. And for one reason or another, this one couldn't and this one couldn't. And it really became, do I have an opportunity to do it? Can I put a microphone in my face and talk about things? Yeah, I can. So I thought, well, I'll take a shot at this, do my civic duty.
When they said somebody's got to do it, what do they mean by that?
That's really a big part of what my campaign, I think, is going to be. There's so many people like myself, old people in our 60s. We're trying to live a wonderful life out here on the beach, and there's so many small concerns from traffic to their taxes to how code enforcement works, how the schools are operating, the Bay Oaks. The new projects in town. There are so many concerns, and some of it comes from just pure old fear. We want to maintain what we have right now, this wonderful, wonderful beach living.
So when your friends were telling you what they were telling you, I guess they were under the impression that those things weren't being addressed. Clearly,
yeah. And even more than not addressed, they figured they felt that they're not being addressed in the right manner. It seems like more of a social club going on. I don't completely agree with that, but it does seem like more of a social club at times.
The council?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions about the issues going on the beach, and the only answer you can't give, well, you can give any answer you want. It's a free country. But you can't say, I don't know. What is your solution for the lights on Estero Boulevard?
Solutions, I'm not going to be able to say, here's the solution, because it's complicated, but we can back up and say that this committee has come up with a plan. There's even a price tag on it, $750,000 price tag. It's not being delivered to us in town for various reasons. Somebody should have said go to this a long time ago. This plan has been available to enact for at least a year that I'm aware of. We need lights. We need lights. We've got to protect our walkers and bikers on the Estero Boulevard.
So as far as you understand the issue, why aren't there lights?
Nobody's pulling the ripcord on the plan downtown. The plan is available to vote on and enact. That's my position on it. That's what I believe is true.
So which plan are you in favor of?
There's a plan, and it was enunciated on your show, I guess, about 4 episodes ago, maybe 5, in regards to an agreement with the power company for their lighting. I believe it was the low intensity lighting and set at a low level, which solves a lot of the problems. Anyway, it's a complicated plan. I don't have all those details to say, oh, here they are. Here are the nuts and bolts of it. I don't.
Okay. What is your, what do you think should be done with Bay Oaks?
Done with Bay Oaks? What do you mean done with Bay Oaks?
Well,
torn down or built up, or?
Well,
I think Bay Oaks is one of the most successful programs or projects and committees in town. They're doing a great job. People that I've been surprised to find out take advantage of Bay Oaks when I don't. I never go there, and I realize that so many people take advantage of their exercise program. There's how much the children in town can benefit from the Bay Oaks project down there. The community center activities that are going on. I don't take part in them. I'm finding that people really appreciate what's going on.
Do you think the majority of the residents on the beach take advantage of Bay Oaks or not?
No, I don't feel they do. Only because the demographics of it. Again,
what are the demographics of Bay Oaks?
If you look at my street, the majority of people are in their 60s and their kids have left town. School is not number one on our mind. A recreation center is not number one on our mind. Going to a kid's ball game is not number one on our mind. Not that we don't share those interests, but they're just not forefront.
Okay, what is the best plan for the foot of the bridge?
The best plan for the foot of the bridge is the plan that's being proposed now. The drawings that you look at for the Margaritaville coming in is really the plan to stop all this pedestrian traffic. And that's what the new design and the new plan is going to do. It's going to get this pedestrian traffic stopped back to Crescent. And I feel that that's a majority of our slowdown in the traffic coming both ways across the bridge. I don't have the details. I know that on the crosswalk, there's an elevator to the crosswalk. And I'm wondering how that's going to work out. I'm picturing people jumping a fence, finding a shortcut. Those are just concerns. But if you look at it on paper and look at a picture of it, it looks like a damn big improvement for us.
Well, there are several different plans for the foot of the bridge. Is there one particular that you're in favor of, or you want to see?
No, I don't. I haven't looked at it as far as plan A, B, C, and D. I know that the plan approved, not the DOT planning, but the plan that's been approved for Margaritaville coming in, which affects the whole base of the bridge. I'm in favor of that. There's a widened sidewalk. We're eliminating the crossing guard in the right on the corner there. There's some general improvements. They're not building a wider bridge. They're not building a walkway across Estero Boulevard at the base of the bridge. So there's really not a big change there.
Do you know how much the town pays the sheriff per hour or per day to be the crossing guard over there? And are you in favor of that continuing or something other than that?
Yeah, I don't have that number, how much they pay. I know they pay. The only aspect that I think it really needs to be addressed and potentially changed is the idea that the voluntary crossing sheriffs, they don't have authority to grab a hold of somebody and put a pair of handcuffs on them and move them along. They're just crossing guards with a fancy uniform. I really think we need, especially during our deepest part of the season, we need some authority down there. A lot of people talked about even just crossing people across on Estero Boulevard. They often stop traffic to allow one person to walk across the street. And it's been suggested, well, maybe there should be a little bit of a better plan there. Wait until there's several people backed up and then let them cross, just as if it were a traffic light. Anyway, there are, and you mentioned this, am I in favor? Do I know how much they're paying, and am I in favor of it? Whatever they're paying right now, I'm sure it's not just an imaginary number and they're just throwing money away. And we do need it. So we're going to have to continue to pay, I'm sure. Right.
Are you in favor of the sheriffs continuing to do it, or do you think that the town should pursue their own police department?
No, right now, I don't think any disruption, anything like a town police department. I think the sheriff's department is very capable, and they're very responsive to the things that the town wants.
Did you agree with the town raising taxes? And if that came up again, would you vote yes or no on raising taxes?
The raising taxes, our taxes aren't bad here on the beach, but taxes are raised to pay bills. I'm very, very, very much in favor of paying our bills. We can't borrow money and push things onto our children when we owe money and when we've built things that cost money, we need to pay for it. And if that requires raising taxes to pay for it, we need to raise taxes to pay for it.
Okay. So are you in favor of the 3-year terms that we have now for council members, or the referendum that's coming up in March to change it to 4-year terms?
You know, I think I mentioned last time I was here, I have a disagreement with the idea of moving the election to coincide with the national elections. Increasing the term, I think increasing the term was just to make that possible, to move them down to November and coincide with the federal elections. I don't like the idea of them coinciding with federal elections for this very reason. We're off the election cycle right now.
Yeah.
And we have people running for council.
Yeah.
We can speak our needs about Fort Myers Beach and not get close to what's going on in the federal level or the state level. We can better express what Fort Myers Beach needs and not get consumed by the national politics.
So let's say you and 2 other members that feel the same way as you do about moving it to November, and perhaps not, I don't even know if this is something you can do, but if you and 2 other members that feel the same way that you do think that it should stay in March, would you try and prevent the referendum from getting on the ballot? I don't even know if that's possible. That's a dumb question. Skip that one. So, because you're going to be voting at the same time, so I'll just edit that part out. Is the town too heavy-handed with code enforcement?
No, I think it's a bad term, heavy-handed. There's things we can do. We can take exactly what we have now, operating exactly as they are now, and add a no-cost option in regards to how we handle the processing of a code enforcement complaint. And most people that I've talked to get scared when a piece of paper ends up on the door, code enforcement notice, and they don't realize that that's only the first step. They're really saying, please communicate with code enforcement. We'll show you how to address this issue without having to go to court or paying a fine or anything else. People don't realize that. They get a piece of paper, they're like, oh my God, now what am I going to do?
Yeah.
If people understood that a little bit better, I think they'd get along with code enforcement a lot better.
Have you heard from people in town that when you've been knocking on doors that's something that bothers them?
Yeah, over the past year or two. Actually, it's maybe let's go back even further than that.
Yeah.
It's always a constant thing. Some of it's legitimate and some of it's not. You know, I mean, I've certainly heard complaints about, yeah, I built a new addition on my house. I can't understand why they want to get me, why I need a permit to do it, you know, which is certainly unreasonable because we want everybody to build something the way it should be built, right, and have code enforcement look after it. But there's also people that have said to me, right or wrong, said, I just want to replace one step on my house, just one board, and code enforcement came by and stopped me. Well, I don't know if that's really what happened, but
right,
that's their feel.
Right. So I know people that are watching and listening are going to give me crap for this because I get on Roger's case a lot. But every town does look into whether or not their town manager is doing a good job or not. I mean, it's their job, the council's job, or whatever board that hires somebody for $180,000. So I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to ask the question of all the candidates. Do you believe that Roger is doing a good job and is getting paid what he deserves to be paid?
You asked me this before, and I really haven't thought about it since then.
You're not allowed to say I don't know. You're running now. You're officially filed. You're not allowed to say I don't know.
What I said last time is probably the same thing. The $180,000. That's debatable. I know I answered it last time. Like, it doesn't bother me, but if other council members said it bothered them, I could be persuaded that it might be too high. Right now, that's not my position. The quality of the job that the town manager is doing, I don't have anything to specifically complain about. I really don't. I don't want to preclude myself from saying, hey, I just found out that these decisions have been being made and I wasn't aware of, and it really stinks. I don't want to preclude that position. But right now, no, I don't have any complaints.
So in 2 minutes, tell everybody listening and watching why they should vote for you.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's probably the best question of the whole bunch. The reason why you should vote for me is because we have there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lack of communication for the members that have been on the town council in the past. I'm the kind of guy that gets out there and talks to people, and you can talk to me. I'm easy to talk to. And with that communication, I plan on bringing all of these items that I bump into to the council meeting and to any decisions that I'm a part of to make. If somebody calls me on the phone and says, "Hey, Dave, you're probably not aware of this, but such and such is going on the other side of town," I'll be there. I want to hear it. If it's one person or two people, I'm the kind of person that can follow through on that and carry that position if I feel necessary to the town council, and not exclude the town. In the past, people come out and said hello to everybody. They get elected, and that's the last time we see them. That's not me. No.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think that anybody on the council now is somebody that doesn't participate in the community. You pretty much see them everywhere. You don't agree with that?
No, I don't. No, I don't. You see them everywhere. If you drive up and down the street every day, like I do, and don't see them, that's one thing. If you go to all the local clubs and see them every day, that's
what do you mean by clubs? Bars?
No, that's not.
What do you mean by clubs?
Well, there's so many associations. There's the women's club. There's a Catholic church organization uptown. There are a lot of social organizations. There are people that are at every one of those.
Yeah.
Yet you don't see them up and down the beach. A matter of fact, somebody said to me just yesterday, I thought it was interesting, talking about this side of the beach and what's important here, and the other side of the beach. And he said, I don't know about town council. I don't think that they're paying attention to us Southies.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, isn't the beach the beach? What's going on in the South?
Yeah, but it really caused me to think about it. I realized, well, the South Side there is a little different attitude. It's not
cliquey down there, huh?
Well, no, it's it's not a beach. It's not the kids coming out for spring break down there.
Yeah.
It's more of a year-round thing. There's a bar crawl up there that doesn't crawl down to this end of the beach, and I think vice versa. Anyway, there is a real distinction between South End and North End.
So it's almost like you think there's two beaches.
In a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, yeah.
So what are your chances?
I think my chances are real good.
Yeah. You think you can fill one of the 3 seats with 7 people running?
Sure do.
So how can people get in touch with you, contact you, support your campaign, or tell you to flip off? I mean, how do you want them to get in touch with you?
We're just getting started rolling now. I intend on a yard sign, blah blah blah.
What? Yard signs. Yeah. Well, I think the yard signs are the dumbest thing. I mean, now you're going to put yard signs all up and down the stairwell. There's going to be 50 of them, and they're going to be everybody. How do you? Is that a real good waste of money? Use of money?
I was talking to somebody who's very much in the know in town.
Who's that?
Last night?
Who's in the know?
My wife.
No, seriously, who's in the know? Maybe I want to have him on the show.
No, really, I was just speaking in general.
Is it your wife?
I really was speaking to my wife about it.
Okay.
And she was talking about the different candidates, but she didn't know their names.
Well, Bruce has been on the council, so she doesn't know his name?
Who?
Bruce Butcher has been on the council.
No. Because, matter of fact, one person was saying just yesterday, another fella said, that Butch guy. And I said, no, Butch is I met Butch. He's a real nice guy. He's running for council. And Bruce. He goes, oh, no. I meant the guy who was on council.
Yeah, Bruce. So
Butcher.
Well, that person didn't know.
Butch and Butcher becomes
So
anyway, back to the yard sign, it's name recognition.
Yeah. Okay, so how many of the council meetings have you been to?
Zero.
Oh, well, that might be a strike against you. Don't you think that helps out? No? How many have you watched?
Oh, yeah, I've watched a lot. I've spent an awful lot of time.
Well, it's the same thing.
Jeez.
Watch.
And
why do you say it like that? Jeez.
4 or 5 hours sometimes of boredom sitting on my porch watching this. You don't want to fast forward. You might miss a cool moment.
Yeah.
But, it consumes a lot of time. But I do watch them all. Yeah. I watch them all.
What is your number one issue?
I think traffic keeps coming back up.
You're never going to solve that. How are you going to solve traffic?
No.
You can say, what's your number one issue? Everybody knows traffic will never change.
No. Traffic, people say, we're going to do this or we're going to do this as far as an answer. There is no such thing. It's a continuous continuous thing. We have to adjust. We have to do different things. Maybe every month, every year, we have to work on this traffic all the time.
Well, you're not. I don't. There's no solution to the traffic unless you widen the bridge somehow. So, what is your number one issue?
I've already told you.
It's not
traffic.
Okay. So, all right. How do you
don't live on the beach?
How do you solve it?
You don't live on the beach. I live on the beach,
right?
And I got to put my vehicles in this traffic all day long.
Well, okay, I agree with you. It is a top issue. But how do you fix it?
No, there's no simple answer to fix it. You have to do incremental things. I really think that at some point, maybe it's 50 years of the future, maybe it's only 20 years of the future, no cars on the beach.
Oh, come on.
No,
you're getting crazy now.
Where are we going to head? Are we going to head until no cars move? And then what do you do? We're almost at the point now where no cars move. My neighbor said to me the other day about all the
You're running on a campaign of no cars on the beach.
No.
All right.
No.
So I agree with you. Traffic during season is the number one issue. No doubt about it.
Even off season.
What is the number one issue that you're going to fix?
Number one issue that I'm going to actually fix.
Yeah.
No, I don't have one thing I can fix. I can say one thing that I will strongly address that I don't believe is being strongly addressed, and that's the homeless situation on the beach. I've got some real strong ideas about.
Share. How do you solve it?
Well, solving it is, again, it's a big picture item, but I can tell you what you don't do. You don't get involved with how do we get rid of the homeless. There's no answer in that puddle right there. You don't just get rid of the homeless. You need to deal with these people. Nationally, it's been over the years, people dealing with homeless, they recognize.
What is your recommendation to address it?
Recommendation to address. Okay, address what? The homeless being
well,
sitting on a bench?
You said the homeless, so I'm trying to figure out what the.
Okay, well, the ideal thing is to get them off the streets. And to get them off the streets, you need to have a place for them to be. Okay.
You're talking about building a shelter then. Where would you build it?
I'm talking about building a shelter.
Okay.
No, I'm not. There are programs around the country which exist in Lee County, by the way. Where Section 8 housing is made available. I don't know the details about.
So you're talking about busing them from the beach to Lee County somewhere, right?
Yeah, I guess if you're talking about you have a bunch of people.
You can't do that. That's not legal.
If you had a bunch of people standing on the beach, you can load them on the bus.
Well, you said homeless, so I'm just trying to get to what the solution is.
Homeless people aren't people that can't get on a bus. They're not people that just ran out of money. These are people that have mental problems.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what needs to be addressed. And you can't address it by leaving them on the street.
How do you address it then?
You can't do it. They're living underneath these buildings out here. We can't accept that as a normal. We can't.
All right. Dave, do you have a website?
Yeah, no.
Okay. You'll have a way of people that if they want to ask you questions about your campaign, just
look for me. Look for me on Facebook.
Okay, yeah, you're on Facebook. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I know there's going to be a couple of forums coming up too, so good luck in those and good luck in the race. And thanks so much. You've been great. You've been great.
Thank you, my friend.
Good luck in the race. All right, everybody. Dave Drumm, big hand for Dave. And he's running for the town council, which has 3 openings and 7 seats. And next weekend during the 9:30 portion of the show, we're going to have Jim Adderholt on. Jim is running for, of course, one of the 3 seats. And let's see, Jim is on I think he's on the LPA. I know I'm going to screw that up because I'm trying to get the attention of the lovely wife. By the way, I want to tell you about one of our other great sponsors.